Met Leah. What's that lady? The lesbian with the short hair and she got the really good voice. Leah Delaria. She was on Orange is the New Black. Do you know? I met her.
Oh, that's cool.
Denise and I met her. We were on the same radio show.
Let's see, that's hooked up, so it should be good
About
there.
being gay.
Well, was that what it was? I was just going to say...
Yes, Denise and I sang Message to the Daughter. Because that's about being discriminated against. And we talked about that. And then I left before she... Like we were walking back to the car. I never really got to hear her. Tired, Marsha's tired. It's okay.
You do sound tired.
I just want to listen to you guys for a little while.
All right. And then we can always finish tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah, we definitely...
So we just... This is her bed.
This is the intro.
This is the SmokeBreakTherapy.Podcast.
Did you do that?
Yeah, that was Obama.
How did you do that?
Oh, I had a guy. I have a guy. I said, see, I asked if you wanted a headphone. If you wanted to be in the podcast.
Stop that.
More headphones.
Stop that from the beginning so she can hear that.
Okay. We're gonna bring it back. Hold on, real quick. I just wanna.
You should have
Wait. Put those on real quick. So this is gonna be funny. You ready? Did you hear it?
Just a bang.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, your reaction. So underplayed. Hold on. I'll grab more headphones.
He had Obama's voice doing the beginning.
My intro, yeah.
That wasn't okay, so I didn't hear it.
Oh, that was funny.
It was like that.
I was like, it was so professional sounding. It was very impressive.
They said there was a thing in the newspaper, something like Michelle Obama talked about, growing up poor.
Yeah.
In a $3,000 outfit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that was a very nice outfit. That was funky.
It was nice. Hey, that's what she's known. She's
well, why shouldn't she do it?
She has the money now.
So what is that? That doesn't, of course.
She still
Everyone
works
does that.
Oh,
she's a lawyer. Yes, absolutely. She made that statement, how highly intelligent.
I love when Bill said Kamala's the only one who spent more time
at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh, just so you guys know the process. I record for the whole time, and then I go back and I cut it up into the podcast, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, because for example, we're recording right now, but it'll still probably all be closet, B-side, pay me on whatever app to get it type thing.
Okay.
So, as we were, how's your sound? Is it too high, too low?
Oh, can you individualize?
Yeah.
Oh, then turn it down a little.
How is this?
Turn it down a little.
More?
Oh, that.
Hello?
A little more.
Hello?
Okay, that's fine.
And yours?
Oh, it's fine.
Okie dokie.
I don't mind hearing it loud.
So, here's the intro.
Okay, listen, Mus.
This is the SmokeBreakTherapy.Podcast.
I'm a big Obama fan.
Sits down with the fam to discuss important topics. Getting super deep to
All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
And that's how we welcome people to the show. Yay.
Good job.
Wait, I can do a little applause.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. That's an excellent intro.
Honestly, that's probably the part of the podcast I'm the most proud of. The intro. I should be proud of the rest of it, but I'm more proud of the intro.
It's very professional. It's very impressive. Honey, you did terrific.
It took me a week, and I had to wait on Rob to get Obama's voice. So that was a whole thing.
You'll have to tell me.
He
how
knows
you-
all this AI stuff. He's been on the podcast multiple times just to talk about AI because I don't trust computers, and he'll show me these robots in Boston. They got like running like dogs and stuff, and they're just like they're attacking people, and they could attach stuff to. I don't know. I hate robots. None of it.
It's amazing.
Let me make sure. I want to turn up your mic a little, just so. Can you talk?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that sounds good. I think.
Good.
What do you think?
I'm fine.
Do you sound too loud to you?
No.
Okay, cool.
I think I sound like you.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good.
Okay, as long as I don't. Yeah.
So, all right, we
Yes.
talked about a million different subjects. What are we going to start with? Is it the ghosts?
Yeah.
Okay, I love
You want to?
ghosts.
All
Okay,
right.
Yes. What do you got?
All right. So you asked me about ghosts, and I was saying I have some good stories.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of good stories. The first one was when I was in San Francisco, and I was in my early 20s.
Oh, you lived there?
No, I went to visit. I went to visit my sister's friend, and she lived in a very old house on the like a typical San Francisco house, on the hill, one of the hills.
Oh, yeah. Because
So
I've actually visited once, and there was like a hill you could skate down, and it was like it was crazy. And they have all the houses. It was like
Right.
multiple colors and like stacked up. Like
absolutely one of those, right? So my younger sister Marsha and I went, and we with my older sister Mary. So her friend Janice, we went to visit her. Anyway, long story short, we had to sleep in the dining room, which had no table or anything, and we had to sleep on the floor. And so the way the house was situated was the bedrooms were at the front. Had to go down a hallway through the dining room. Open the door, right? Go through the dining room, open another door, through the kitchen to the bathroom.
Okay.
So, if anyone needed to do that from the bedrooms, they had to open two doors in my dining room where I was sleeping. So my sister at one point came through, opened the door, walked through, opened the door, and so it was fine. So not too long after, I'm lying in that bed, and Janice told us that sometimes that she's seen ghosts or heard
you
spirits.
might see something.
Something might be happening.
Be something there,
So I was in tune to that. So I was a little nervous. My sister slept right through it. She went out like a light. So I'm lying there with my head towards the wall, like my back towards the room on the floor. And all of a sudden I hear footsteps.
Oh, that's creepy.
And then they stop right behind my head. They just stopped. And then they went. And then they faded out. No doors opening. Nothing. No doors.
That's creepy.
That was very creepy. I mean, it was someone. I could feel a presence, like they stopped and looked at us. And I was sweating. I wouldn't move the whole night. Anyway, so that was my first. And then apparently, the next day we found out that this woman who lived there, Janice, had many times woken up, turned around, she was sleeping, turned around in her bed and faced a man in her bed. And it was a ghost because there was no man. So that was that story.
That's a good story. And it also reminds me of the story you've told me, like, of the place you live in now. Like, didn't you say you used to have, like, a ghost that, like, sat on the bed?
Yes, that's my other story.
Okay, go for that one. That's interesting.
So I lived in a 1930s house. And apparently, I'd say around, must have been, it was after World War II, a vet came home, and he had post-traumatic stress disorder, was really in bad shape after the war. Anyway, he hung himself in my garage. Oof. Yes. And his son found him, which was very sad.
That's way...
And the son told me the story.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because I was...
That's sad. Oh, man, that's hard.
Oh, it's really sad. I was outside in the front raking my yard, and this car pulled up and said, "Hey, I used to live here." And I said, "Well, come on." And I showed him the house, and he told me that story. And
if you don't mind me asking, how long ago was it that, like, you saw him, like, when that happened, that you talked to him?
To the guy, the son? Oh, that was 15 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically he told me that story. His dad came home and he was so disoriented and so disillusioned, and just he was lost from the war, and he didn't know what to do with themselves. He would wander off and stuff like that.
Do you think? Oh, just from the PTSD, he thought he was somewhere. Okay,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole.
I don't
story.
know. Just the reason I ask is when I hear wander off, I think dementia or something. You know what I mean?
Me too. But I think he was probably hallucinating. Probably having.
I'm sure.
Right?
I mean, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Who knows what was going on in his brain?
Right.
Yeah, he was definitely gone. He was lost. Anyway, so that's what happened. So the point being, I tell you that because when we moved in, the first thing that used to happen is my dog would stop at the bottom of the stairs and just bark at nothing. He would just bark for no reason. He wasn't like that. So he would just bark. And they always say that oftentimes ghosts go between like stairways and stuff.
They
Have
do,
you heard that?
yeah.
Right?
Especially
doors,
if there's any mirrors too. Doorways or
stairways, right?
Yeah,
right.
Both, yeah.
So Charlie used to do that. He used to just do that out of the blue. So then, so when this happened maybe I'd say about 3 or 4 times. I would be sleeping in bed alone, and then all of a sudden it was like the other side of my bed was depressed. I could feel someone getting in bed. Oh, no one got in bed with me.
Yeah,
there was
so weird though.
At one point, I was with someone, and I turned, and no one was there, and so that happened.
Feeling.
And then we would talk to him. We would just tell him, we're so sorry. His name was Mr. Barry. We'd say, "Hey, Mr. Barry, just don't scare us."
Yeah, right. Please don't do that.
Absolutely, and we're so sorry.
I'll let you lay in bed with me, but don't startle me. Don't you dare startle me.
I know, right? Is that weird? I know I wasn't, but I was never afraid.
That's a thing though. Like, there's different types of spirits that feel different ways. Like, I definitely had a spirit follow me for like a number of years when I was young. Like,
where did he follow you?
And it was totally. All I knew was there was this spirit named George. And, like, you could feel his vibe when he was there. You just felt him. Like, he didn't do too much, you know what I mean? But there was a couple times where he'd do something and it would freak you out.
Like make a noise, knock something over? Or...
Yeah, like knock something. For example, like one of the last times I ever saw what I called George, the spirit, when I moved to Massachusetts and I was living in my grandmother's basement at the time, and I had a keyboard, and I was learning how to play keyboard, but I also had a bunch of hats. I was, flat rim Boston hat or whatever, something like that. Cool. And I had one on at the time, but I had a couple over there, and I was in a basement. And so, like, the windows, you know what basement windows look like, those little rectangle slits small, that they barely move or anything. So that led up to the backyard, and I only had one of those. That was the one window I had in the bedroom down there. I had the window like slightly cracked open, but not much. And we had skunks back there before or something like that, but like this was different. Okay, so I'm just sitting there in my bed in this basement, looking at my keyboard. I'm playing a little bit, and then I stop, and I just felt like George was there. Wow. But then all of a sudden, I was like, "This doesn't feel good." And then all of a sudden, like the hat on my head was like just like off. It was just like blew off, and I heard the window, that little slidey window, poof, like it went poof, and I screamed. I literally screamed. I was like, I sounded like a little girl. I was like, oh my! I was like, what? And but there was nothing there. I ran up, like after that set in, and for a minute I breathed or whatever, but like I run upstairs because right up the top of the stairs is how you get outside. So I like ran up. I wanted to see if there was a skunk, something. I don't know. Something just shook the window and slapped the hat off or whatever. It didn't like touch me per se. You know what I mean? Like I didn't. But like the hat was definitely like. And then it was almost like something went by me and took the hat off going out the window. It felt like that kind of thing.
Wow, that's intense.
But that was the last time I felt that spirit. But I totally thought it stemmed from like when my dad used to take me to the shop, and he had a family construction company, and there was like this uncle he had, Frank, that died.
Yeah.
But he had another uncle named George, and I think when I was young, I just associated that when Frank died, his name was George or something like that, and kind of thing. And so that's why the spirit to me said George.
George, right. Do you think it was Frank?
Yeah. I do, because my dad used to say, he taught me a lot, but he was a son of a bitch, you know? Like, you know, I don't know. It never, like, it just felt dark sometimes, but it didn't feel dark all the time.
Right.
It just felt like a creepy watching. Like, I used to feel it, like, when I moved to Massachusetts, I'd be in the shower, and I'd feel like we had this glass door or something, and I'd feel like someone's watching me. Like, that's just how it felt. It felt like it's a wicked, uncomfortable, weird feeling. Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, fucking George, what are you doing here? Like, what are you, get the hell out, please. Yeah. But, like, yeah, that was one good ghost story. I have more ghost stories. But, do you have any more ghost stories?
Well, I have other people's ghost stories, not mine. So, I mean...
I was just seeing how long.
Sure. Already. I don't have... I mean... I think I told you one earlier that I had a client and we talked about her father just recently died and she missed him and she's very intuitive. And then she left and she called me after she got home and she said, Ginny, when I was leaving your office, I went over that little bridge, I turned to my right and my father was sitting right next to me. Oh, you did
say that, yeah.
He's sitting right
that's
next
so
door.
Weird.
And she heads up. She's felt many people. She's had many of those stories. So
yeah, Sarah's into this show. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think she's necessarily fake, I guess, but like she's really into this Long Island.
Oh, I love that Long Island medium. Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily believe it or not because, like, I don't know. I feel like if it's real, don't put it on TV. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't know. That's
she made
how I feel.
A lot of money.
She did, but that's what makes it feel not as real to me. You know what I mean? It feels less genuine. As much as she seems like a genuine person, I'm not trying to shit on her. I think she's cool.
Absolutely.
Like, but you're making a lot of money for something. You know what I mean?
Come on, you want to come on the,
Oh, yeah, I'm in. But I also would think people would think I'm full of crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, absolutely.
I don't know.
But I mean, I used to watch it. I love that. I do believe in mediums. I've had many.
I do believe in them. I just, like I said, I don't feel like the real ones will go on the TV. Right, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel as genuine. I don't know.
She seems to have the gift, but...
probably. There was this other kid Sarah and I watched on... Netflix. I don't know if he turned out to be fake or not, but he was like this young kid, and he like would draw and write stuff or something like that.
Yes, He was good too. Yeah,
he looked good. I don't know. I never really looked into it. I just took it for what it was, you know.
Yeah, but, I've saw him. He's good. Did you ever go to a medium?
I'm trying to think. At least once I went. Well, specifically a medium or like a palm reader too, or like a psychic,
whatever you want to say.
Like
I mean, I've only been to mediums who talk to the dead.
Well, that's the thing. I went when I did see my sister had like this. I want to say psychic or palm reader or something. So Sarah would probably know more.
Yeah.
But whatever. This guy who held us in a room and he had some stuff on the table and he held our hands and he told us stuff. That guy.
Was it right?
And I pretty much just used it to talk to dead people I knew. So I guess you could count that. You know what I mean? Like he was like, "Oh, do you have anything you want to talk about or anything?" And I was like, "Oh, do you talk to dead people? Like, I'd love to talk to some dead people I know because I know a bunch of dead people." And he was like, "Yeah, I could do that."
Did you get any answers from them? Did they talk to you?
But some of them said some weird stuff that was like, some of it I just wasn't into. Like some of it like just didn't feel right to me. Right. Like I asked to talk to one of my friends who had killed themselves, but like the answer he gave didn't feel like it was genuinely from that person. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it wasn't something I felt like that person would say, but I wasn't gonna say that to him in the moment. You know what I mean? You're full of shit, guy. Like you know, I don't think that would go over well.
No, right? Absolutely.
But I'm trying to think if I went to another one. I feel like it's only been with my sisters. Her birthday's in October, so it's like. Around everything's Halloween. All Halloween, Salem, Witchcraft, whatever.
Right.
All that fun stuff. Right, but I'm trying to think of anything else. Did I ever do another? Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice. Yeah, I went to. My sister and I went to a medium after my mother died, and my father came through, who had died 13 years before. So this was in 2017. My mother died January. We went in September. And my father came first because apparently he was better at it because he'd been there for a while. And then my mother came through, and my grandmother and a couple of aunts and uncles were also there. And the things this woman said to us, only she could know. I mean, there was no doubt that she was saying things that could only pertain to
really
us.
cool.
It was
when
really
when it like actually is something
oh
that you know could only come from.
oh absolutely. When I left there, I was at peace with her loss.
That's
with
awesome.
The loss, yeah, I really was. It was amazing. I would go back every other week if I had the money. It's very expensive, but
Yeah, it is. I mean, but that's because people only do it like you do, like once in a while, so that's why they charge. You know what I mean? Like they got to get their money's worth of their service or whatever.
And it's a gift.
Right,
it's a
right.
gift. I mean, not many people can do what she did. And I had been to another one years and years ago, but she wasn't half as good as Jackie, the one I went to. But yeah, so that's all I got for mediums and my ghost stories.
My medium, when I also was that same guy who I talked to about dead people, both my grandfathers came through, but they gave pretty, what I felt like was fitting, but generic advice. You know what I mean? Again, it wasn't like, it definitely could have been something they'd say, but it wasn't unique enough that I felt
So it was
like
advice?
Yeah, it was more like the exact thing I guess my mother's father said was, "You're not no spring chicken no more." Like kind of thing, like get your shit together kind of thing, or something like that. And then,
yeah.
it just felt like, I don't know, he could have said that, but it doesn't feel like.
Oh, this woman
poppy,
told us specifics. Like she told us facts about my parents. She
Yeah,
told
see,
us
that's
facts
that's
about
really
us.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
things
think
that were
that's
going
the
on.
thing. I guess it depends who you get, because some people are really gifted and some
Yeah.
people are just out for the friggin' money or something,
Yeah.
or just doing out, a Halloween service or something,
I just aren't very good at it.
Yeah,
Maybe
or
a little
just aren't good at all, yeah.
a little bit of it, but not all the way. Yeah, a lot of people have a little bit of it, but yeah. So that's all I got there.
Oh, hi.
Hi. So when I saw Jackie,
Oh, Masha's gonna tell a story.
I mean, yeah,
when
you
I
can.
walked in, she already
You
had
can.
Can I give it to her?
Yeah.
you got to put this.
It's long distance. You can
Oh.
go long distance.
No, when I saw Jackie,
Might have to unwind it a little
Yes.
bit.
when I walked in, she had a whole sheet, like a whole piece of yellow legal pad written out. And it had Sarah's name on it, and it had Dad's name on it, and Paul's name on it, of course. And she had and so she had all this stuff already happening before I even walked in the door.
So
Because she meditates on who's coming.
yeah.
And she didn't know anything like that. She didn't know Sarah's name.
See, honestly, can I be honest? That makes me believe it less, the whole the pad part, because that makes me feel like she had something
She
like
Googled them?
yeah, exactly, like she went on Facebook, figured out who you knew, and then made sure she didn't want to remember.
But
I mean, didn't forget or whatever.
But I made
know?
you the appointment, so you didn't even make the appointment.
No, I didn't make the appointment.
I say that I you never made the appointment. I made.
She's
that
like,
for you.
make sure you make sure this is affirmative.
I think they hear you.
Oh yeah, we have two different last names, so they wouldn't know. She wouldn't know.
I mean,
And she
they are
didn't-
different
never-
last names, but I'm sure you guys pop up on each other's Facebook.
No, we don't. I didn't
As
even give
sisters.
her my last name. I never gave my last name. I just said Ginny.
I'm just sharing my
But that's a lot.
No,
yeah,
I understand
yeah.
what you're saying. I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying. But a lot of the things she said was true. So.
No, honestly, I really wished like mine was more like that. That's what I was hoping was like it was gonna be like, was to get that stuff that's like unique enough to that, specific enough to that person. That's like, I know that was that.
Yeah.
You know, that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
You should go to this woman.
I honestly, it sounds like I should. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sarah went to her once,
Yeah.
but for a different reason. Joan and Ann also came
Joan
through.
and Ann came
Our
through,
sisters.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Sister died, yep.
It sounds like everyone came through. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that was you went a time after me.
Yeah.
When
You-
Joan
can
and
have
Ann
it
came
back
back. When I went, they hadn't died yet. So
You want to turn it the other way?
sorry. Like this.
That way, yeah, that's better.
All right. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm very impressed that you spoke, Marsha.
No, me too.
Right, yeah. I like that.
That's funny.
I like that little thing. Yeah, I only got 4 buttons, but I use them well.
You're making me want to do a podcast.
It's fun. It really is. Honestly, like I could do like multiple episodes just with you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I always guarantee 15 minutes or more as an episode. You know what I mean? Like so it's
Yeah.
worth listening to kind of thing. But we've already hit 25
Wow.
minutes almost.
Wow.
But you got to remember, we're going to probably cut the first, like, 5 or whatever before the intros started that time, you know? So, like, say we got maybe 20, that's still one episode. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then we can switch up because we're out of ghost stuff or whatever, and then we can go from there. We could do an episode on music or your music career, or maybe something LGBTQ, or like electrology. I don't know, something. A lot of avenues.
Absolutely. We could do whatever you want to know.
I feel like I'm watching Evil Dead.
Oh, thank you.